every single moment, every single word on the page to every single thing on the screen in every frame in every episode is crafted and intentional. And at some point as a showrunner, you hand it over to the directors. And we have two brilliant directors, Zoe Hopkins and Elmaya Tailfeathers, both Indigenous women who took this story and these characters and brought them to the screen in the safest, most protected way they could. And, while they were managing, directing, and caring for the cast, they were also, these are stories that all of us relate to. So there was a lot they had to do to keep themselves safe while keeping everybody else safe. We had a therapist on set. We had medicines, like our own traditional medicines, available for prayer and healing. We had a tent for just crying and wellness and whatever people needed. So I hope that everyone felt well taken care of. But again, I felt that the story and the characters and that it was in good hands when we handed it over to Maya and Zoe. And that is, part of the job is to trust the collaborative experience and know that everybody's on the same page, not just artistically, but emotionally. Because telling a story like this, you have to be on the same page emotionally.
It can't just be you can't just be, okay, we agree that this is the story we're going to tell. This is the beats that we're going to hit. This is this is how we want to frame it. This is how we don't want to frame it.
Yeah.
You have to be approaching it emotionally from the same place.
Yeah. And we did talk a lot about it, extensive talks about how do we show violence and how do we bear witness to violence without exploiting it and without extracting these stories and make them feel one-dimensional, like it's just, again, brown bodies being violated against, and that thing that we see all the time.
Yeah. A
lot of thought was put into that, especially in Maya's episodes, which are the first 3 episodes, because she has a lot of the more, I guess, violent content.
Yeah.
And the way she treated that content was very, very careful and very thoughtful. Like every single thing about the process, about the way we did it, about the way we spoke to people and the way we engaged with our talent was very intentional and careful.
Is there one thing you wanted to get right? Like when you were making this show, there's so much that goes into it. I can tell how sensitive you treated everything, how much thought went into everything. Was there a guiding, whatever it is, I need to make sure this thing is right?
Well, it was really important for me that every single thing, it's not one thing, but authenticity was the guiding principle.
What does that mean? Which
means every single thing that comes out of someone's mouth, every single frame, every single piece of physical information in the frame on the screen has to filter through a lens of authentic, vetting. And it meant different things depending on what it was. For example, my Aunt Sharon, who, collected all of the information regarding what my community of Muscopeding in Saskatchewan was like, every single thing in 1968, from the carpet to everything in the house, like every single thing had to go through this authenticity process. That was the same with, policies, anything that was spoken, any words that were spoken, language, every single thing. And why that's important is because Indigenous stories, in many ways were erased. And when we were seeing them and we were hearing about them, they were either used as propaganda or used to perpetuate narratives that were very harmful and reckless.
Stereotypical
stereotypes and
racist caricatures.
Exactly.
Yeah,
authenticity for me is front and center and the driving purpose of why I even tell stories, because we're really reclaiming and rebuilding these narratives. And then second to that was humanizing, like really making sure that no matter what we did, we were humanizing these people that very often don't even get treated as human beings, even today in life.